Greetings, it's the New York Thrifter here on a Tuesday, and we're going to start today's vlog with a super short trip to the Goodwill. I was in here for very little time, and I found some great pieces, but unfortunately a lot of them were damaged. And I really wanted to show you this because my mother, who I've taught how to resell on eBay, she once asked me what my biggest mistake was when I started reselling, and I told her I would get entranced by a brand or piece and kind of overlook the flaws only to bring it home and then not want to list it because I just didn't think it would make that much money, and I really regret that. So I'm going to go through a few pieces that I rejected on this trip to the thrift, and hopefully you won't be making the same mistake I did when I began, which is grabbing everything that you like the labels for and worrying about the condition later. So first up, this is a beautiful V-neck Vince sweater, and unfortunately it had a lot of wear to the fabric, and it wasn't just pilling that you would be able to get off with a sweater shaver. It was actually almost a breakdown of the fabric, so I left that behind. This is a Lafayette 148 extra large white sweatshirt, and I looked everywhere on it to try to find a stain because, as I say, you can never trust white at a thrift store, but there was no stains at all, and I got really excited. I gave it one last look and I found that it was missing the drawstring, and so again I had to leave it behind. This is a Sonia Riquel piece, and it had a really cool gemstone print on this top, but there was like a total breakdown of the fabric when I looked a little closer. I believe somebody probably put it through maybe a dryer and it just really made all of the little white spandex pieces come through. And finally, a Free People dress. It was only $5. I thought I found something really great, but when I looked inside, somebody had cut out the size tag. And yes, you can do measurements and you can list it this way, but especially with Free People, they do a lot of oversized pieces, so there's no kind of a size chart that you can really count on to know who this would fit. But I have good news because I did pick up three pieces. One was this gray cabbie dress for $5. It was half off, that I'm going to be listing for probably $29.99. These Archie sandals I purchased for $9, which are in beautiful shape. They're my size, so I'm debating on whether to try them on or not. And these can be listed for probably around $39.99 on eBay. And finally, a Lululemon's men's pullover. This is a Surge Warm half zip, and I purchased it for $8. It can be listed for around $49.99 is my plan, taking best offer, and I expect to make probably around $35 or $40 on it. I spent $22. That translates into probably around $100 or $120 in potential sales. And so it was a pretty good day at the thrift, even though I had to put a lot of things back. I believe it was totally worth it bringing these three things home that are going to be easier to list, and I'm not going to hesitate on putting them in my store is great rather than buying everything and then kicking myself later. Today, I'm going to profile another 12 designers, or in this case, luxury brands. We're going to start out with Chloe. And the reason is this is a very old and very well-established brand. It was started in France in the 1950s, and in the early 2000s, they branched out in C by Chloe, which is they called it a little more feminine, I believe, along with a lower price point. And so here are the tags for both of these. Now, if you were going to sell a Chloe dress online on eBay, you would probably price it, depending on the piece, between $60 and $100 because this one is made out of a cotton poplin. It would probably go for a little bit lower. If you were going to be selling this on ThredUp, they'd probably give you about $100 in consignment. And on the Real, you're looking at closer to $52 in consignment. Now at this one, I didn't notice this when I purchased it, but it does have, it looks like maybe some bleach staining here on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I am going to be selling this on eBay and probably maybe on auction and just see who wants to make bids on it. It is not very noticeable, the stains, when you're wearing it. It's only upon closer inspection. So I'll see what I can do. However, this piece, which is a beautiful button up with a really great design on it, I am going to be selling this on eBay, but it's going to be on best offer. I expect to list this for about $40 and take anywhere between maybe $30, $35. On ThreadUp, if I would send it in, I'd probably make between $14 and $24 on consignment, and the Real would probably have a return of about $24. I'm going to break in here really quick, and I want to talk about pricing. Now, I did mention this in yesterday's video. For a more in-depth look, go check that out. But I do go through eBay and I check their solds to find out what a similar brand, similar style would be priced at. I also go to ThreadUp's payout estimator to see about how much money you would expect if you did send this in to consign. And then lastly, the Real. Now with the Real, they do sell all of their pieces at about a 20% discount from what you see on the screen, and then you make 40% of that. I'll be linking yesterday's video, so again, you can get more information on how I'm looking at pricing. Ego Azruel is a designer that's in New York City. He is Israeli American, and he designs very modern pieces. So this is his brand here. He also has a diffusion line called Cut 25, and I'll show you that is a label for Cut 25. This is a sequin skirt, and then back to the more tie-dye dress. If you were going to sell this dress on eBay, you'd probably list it for around $20. On ThreadUp, however, you can probably make around $43 on consignment, and the Real would be closer to $24. So with this egal piece, we're probably going to be sending it into ThreadUp. And with this sequin skirt, I'm going to be sending it into the Real. They're probably going to list it for around $50, which means a $16 return, which is totally okay considering the fact I would probably only be able to sell it for a few dollars on eBay. Roberto Cavalli is a titan in the fashion industry. He is Italian and he has been working for decades in the industry, known for his very, very loud prints, as you can see with this dress. There's also kind of a snake detail here. And in recent years, Roberto Cavalli has gotten a lot of attention because Gloria on Modern Family, Sofia Vergara, wears a lot of his pieces. A lot of his her sexy outfits come from Cavalli. The resale value for Cavalli is excellent. On eBay, you can list a piece like this for up to maybe $150. On ThreadUp, it's probably about $150 on consignment. A little bit less on the Real, you'd probably make only $60. I do think I'm going to be sending this piece into ThreadUp and seeing how high they would price it. It is an absolute gorgeous piece that really shows off Cavalli's signature design. The future of this brand is a little up in the air. Roberto Cavalli as a business is going into bankruptcy, so we'll see what that means for their future. Now, Cavalli does have a diffusion line. Let's look at this. It's called Just Cavalli. Here we go. And there is the Italian label. And it does have the holographic mark to show you that it is real. Just Cavalli. Now, this is a little bit more basic. It is just a black dress. I wish it was print because it seems like that really does best in this brand. So for this, Just Cavalli, it could be listed probably between $50 and $70 on eBay. You probably wouldn't make that much money. You'd have to take a best offer. On ThreadUp, it's only worth between maybe $15 and $20. And on the Real, probably about $24. I am probably going to end up sending this to the Real, even though it's not a whole lot of money. I probably couldn't make much more than that on eBay, so I'll probably send it in. Timo Wieland is an American designer. He's also a disc jockey. He got started making wallets back in the day and he branched out into clothes. Now, this isn't a great example of one of his pieces. This is just a t-shirt, so it's a little bit boring. I did have a skirt from Timo that I sent into the Real Real that sold for quite a bit of money. It was new with tags. But for this, there's just not a whole lot to it. It probably won't go for a whole lot of money. On eBay, you know, 10 bucks, ThredUp, maybe 5 bucks. So I am going to send it into the Real Real. Hopefully they'll price it at $50 and I'll get $16, but I'm really not counting on it because again, it's just kind of a basic piece. But if you do see this label, it's definitely worth checking out. Now, you've heard me talk on my channel before about the Copals. This isn't necessarily a designer brand. This is more of a luxury brand. And it was first put together by three French brothers. It was sold to, or it's in the process of being sold to the same company that owns Lacoste. And so hopefully it is going to be sticking around. I really do like the Copals design. It's very modern. I picked up these pieces for very little and hopefully I'm going to be able to sell them on eBay for around maybe $30 would be great. Maybe list them for $32, take a best offer. If I sent them into ThredUp, it would be closer to $13 per piece. And the Real Real would probably put a $60 price tag, which would give me a commission of a little over $19. So I do think that I will be listing these on eBay and seeing what I can get for them. Next up is Adam Lippes, and let me show you this. He's kind of a little known American designer, and his pieces aren't really that expensive new, and so their resale value isn't that great. On eBay, maybe, $20, a few dollars on ThredUp, but the Real Real does take it. Hopefully they'll list the dress high at maybe about $75, so I'll make about $24 back on it. I did spend $5 purchasing it. For the shirt, probably a lot less than that, but it is new with tags. Now, I am absolutely loving this next piece. This is Temperley London, and Temperley London is ran by Alice Temperley. This is an unusual designer because she owns and operates this label to this day. It's not ran by anybody else but herself. And so she is an English designer and she has some great detailing on her pieces. You can tell that they are extremely well made, extremely beautiful details. Brand new, her pieces start at around $600 and their resale value online is probably closer to around in the 40s on eBay. For ThredUp in the 50s, and the Real Real commission would probably be about $35. So ThredUp really does seem the best route to take with this Temperley piece. And I'm going to be really sad to see it go because I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. This next design house was started in the 50s. And it is Missoni, known for its colorful knits. Now, Missoni has been doing a lot of collabs with lower end lines, like their Target collaboration was one of the first big Target collabs. This is M by Missoni, so this is their diffusion line, but it is still very expensive, hundreds of dollars. Missoni proper without the M can go for over $1,000. In retail. When you get to the M Missoni, we're looking at $500-600 to start with. Now, this isn't a knit. This is just kind of a cotton polyester, it feels like. But it does have a beautiful geometric design on it, which they're also really well known for. So if you wanted to list this on eBay, you're probably going to want to go around maybe $49.99 and take a best offer. I would say anything in the 40 range would be really, really great. On ThredUp, you're probably looking between $15 and $40. The $40 though would be closer to if this was probably knit. And on the Real Real, it would probably get listed for around $145. And so you're looking for about $46 in payout. And so probably going to be sending this into the Real Real. This is one of the most exciting pieces I've found in a while. This is a Vivienne Westwood in her Anglomania line. Now, Dame Westwood is English and she started designing in the 70s and really is known for bringing a punk aesthetic into fashion. And her pieces are kind of weird, kind of unusual, but always interesting. And so this is a little bit bland for what she does, but it is kind of showing maybe more of a bubble style that she's been known for in more recent years. So Vivienne Westwood is definitely somebody in the fashion world that you should know. If you were going to be selling this piece, you're looking at probably $49.99 listed on eBay. ThreadUp, not a good place to send it. You'd only make about 13, and the Real Real would list it for about 75, which leaves you about $24. So I definitely recommend listing Anglomania on eBay yourself and selling it. Now, with this next design, I suggest you move quickly. This is Elizabeth and James. And of course, Elizabeth and James is the Olsen twins, and they are, I don't want to say going out of business, but they are have all their distribution deals from like Bloomingdale's and things, and Neiman Marcus has been shuttered. They've also closed their store. It was at the Grove in Los Angeles, and they're moving their brand into Kohl's. And so when that happens, you know that things are not looking good. So what I'm planning on doing is probably taking all of the pieces that I have. These are three pieces. One is a two-piece suit. The other is just a striped shirt. And I'm planning on sending them all into the Real Real as soon as possible to try to get anything I can out of them, because it looks like this brand is just going to plummet if it continues the way it is. I've got two more brands that I want to talk about, and these are considered more luxury brands than designer. So Parker is a company that's based here in New York City, and they are known for their silk summer dresses. This one has some metallics in it and some maybe like, I guess, chevron or geometric print. They are actually better known for their florals, but definitely silk and definitely kind of flirty feminine pieces. Now, Parker is sold for around $300 a piece when it is new. Online on eBay, between $25 and $30 is pretty good. On ThreadUp, the payout is like $5, so don't send it into ThreadUp. On the Real Real, they tend to list the pieces around $65, giving you a $21 payout. And so I'm probably going to send this in. I have a bunch of Parker pieces, and I'll probably pick maybe a couple of my favorites to see if I can sell them for maybe $30 or $40 on eBay, and then send the rest in. And finally, I have a jean brand. This is J brand, and you've heard me talk about this brand before. I had my denim week, the first week I started vlogging. Now these are new with tags. Brand new, a pair of J brand jeans can run upwards of $200. On eBay, I'm going to list these for around $35.99 and take best offer. On ThreadUp, jeans and denim in general does horribly. I would not send anything denim into the ThreadUp Luxe program if you don't have to. I'd probably get $1.50 for these doing that. The Real Real, even new with tags, lists these for around $50, which would make $16 in commission. And so again, I would not send them into the Real Real. Mostly the Real Real will list their denim at around $50. And so in general, you're going to make more if you list it yourself. So these are the brands that I wanted to go over today. I hope that helps kind of continuing your designer knowledge, and I will be back tomorrow with a dozen more. I'm going to wrap up today's vlog with a what sold. I shipped out 4 pieces today. The first was a blue bralette from Victoria's Secret. I sold for $12.99, free shipping. A floral bra I sold for $8 on best offer, plus $2.99 in shipping. A J. McLaughlin Catalina cloth shirt, and that Catalina cloth is that stretchy material. I sold it on best offer for $21.50 plus $2.99 in shipping. And finally, a pair of jeans. This was from Anthropologie Level 99. It had an extreme flare on it. I sold it full asking price at $18.99 plus $4.99 in shipping. So that was my reseller day today. I will be back tomorrow with more finds, more solds, and more designers.